Okay, so I thought I'd just run through how I try and make my craft card look like leather. I do use it a lot, even in tiny little pieces on any of my crafts. Like for example, there, I've used it on a pull tab there, and for the tab there, like that. It is really quite effective. So I do find it handy to have just pieces knocking about in my stash ready to go. So first of all, I use glycerin and water in a spray bottle. Now I do it as 1 part glycerin to 6 parts water. That's just my mix. I'm not saying that's right or wrong, that's just what I use. Okay, so I'm doing it on a glass mat, just makes it a little bit easier. And I've already mixed my solution up. So just spray it on both sides. And then just lightly, just make sure it's just rubbed in. Flip it over. And again, just rub it in. Now I'm using craft card, but you can use almost most papers. A lot of people use paper bags, like when you get the paper bags from the shop. It's a bit thinner, it has different effects. I've even done it with white card. And it makes just things just look a little bit more aged. So I'm just rubbing that in. And it's hard to say it'll happen in 1 minute, 2 minutes. It depends on the paper. I think it depends on the humidity in the room. There's lots of things that come to it, and I'm no scientist. I just know that it works the way I'm doing it. So you start creasing it, add more water. So I do apologise if you can hear one of the pooches. They always sit with me in the craft room. And tonight I've got an extra pooch, my daughter's dog. I'm dog sitting for the evening. So it could be unpredictable. I'm just slowly scrunching it up. Add a bit more water. Remember both sides. And it doesn't matter if it tears, if it looks lumpy and bumpy, it will dry and it will be usable. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So with any product, just check that you're okay to use glycerin. Put gloves on if you're unsure. I've been using it a long time and I've never had a problem personally. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that. So now to colour it. You can use most things watered down. Some people use stains, dyes, inks. If I was going to use any of my distress inks, I'd probably wait till it dried. But you can spray it, well, I spray it while it's still damp. It's just the way I do it. So I'll just get a box. Just a little bit dry there. see any dry patches, then just bear with me. Okay, so now going to get what I'm using to colour it. Now I'm using a mix of Vivids, and I'm using the Vivid refills, Eco refills, Original Oak, and I thought I'd see what Loxley Yellow looks like in places on it. Sometimes I'll put maybe the reds through it, but it's just easier if it's in a spray. So go. Then maybe a bit of the yellow. Now, just bear with me just while I mix another colour up. So I'm just mixing more of the Original Oak. And if you can hear a noise, it's because one of the dogs is playing catch with himself. Okay, so when that dries, it will not be shiny. It will go like a matte effect. So before I start crafting and using it in my crafts, I usually seal it with the Slap It On matte, and I'll seal it both sides, because then that makes it then perfect for gluing onto things. It gives it that sealed leather look and effect, and it lasts for ages. Okay, so again, I would let this dry naturally. I wouldn't force dry it. Lay it flat, place it somewhere where there's a bit of airflow. So I normally have it just resting on something like a grid or something like that. It just nicely dries. If I can't find anywhere to rest it on, I'll let it dry one side and then I'll flip it over. Or if I'm not too bothered on the way it'll look, I'll probably just hang it over the edge like that. Okay, so that's my take on trying to make craft paper look like leather. And again, it's really, really handy. So if you look at that there, I really am not used to getting things in camera and shot. But if you look at that tag, it really is quite effective. These are some stamps and the paints from Indigo Blue. Absolutely beautiful and stunning. Really enjoyed making this one. So thank you again for watching this, and I'll try and make some products with the finished article next time round. Thank you.